It is draft day here. Welcome to another episode of My MLB The Show, Mariners franchise and CaP franchise. My name is West Coast 22. I appreciate you checking it out. We will control the Mariners, but we also have a list of, I believe, 31 or 32 creative players from the YouTube and Twitch community that have created players for me, and I have put them into this franchise, and we can watch them flourish as well. This should be episode 8, I believe. My number is wrong. I apologize. And it is draft day. If you were with us last episode, towards the end, we went over the players that we are hoping will drop to us at 17. Everything's already scouted. You see right there, it says signed draft picks. It's not true. It's actually draft day is right here. 53 and 41. We have fallen off a little bit, mainly because of the torn ACL from Big Dumper, and he is out for the entire year. But this episode alone is solely about the draft and signing the draft pick. So that's what we are going to do here. We are going to go right into the draft without further ado. And we are going to hope this is our boy right here. We don't need a first baseman per se, but if this guy drops, you cannot not take him. So that's the guy we're hoping drops, or Corson. Outside of that, it's really just pitching, which is super unfortunate. Maybe some closers if they drop to us. Drafting a closer in the first round is not ideal, but we need bullpen too. There's really no other outfielders. I mean, I guess I could just look at outfielders instead of being a dum-dum. That could drop potentially. Bellamy might be a good late round pick if he can be towards the bottom end of the 80s. That's not terrible per se, but Pena we didn't finish because I think he was terrible. Castillo we didn't finish. Center field, I mean, we have Corson. Vera we didn't finish. Frank Wade is an interesting one. I think he's going to be a fog of war type player. I don't think he's this good, but maybe second round. If everybody else is gone, he may be a potential, although I'm fairly certain what we're going to get with him. And right field, Colt Cabrera, I just don't think is enough. Again, another guy, he's only 85% scouted, but another guy that we might take a peek on. Phil Francisco, same situation. He's just high speed and defense. That contact is going to drop. I don't think he's this good offensively, and he's not that good anyway. We might have to guess on some outfielders, though. Some of these guys that are 99, we might take a chance on if he's still there. Sammy Valentine. I mean, again, this is a long shot. This is just if we have nothing else left. But you can find some decent people here in these 99s. And maybe get lucky. Again, that's just the tail, and that stuff we'll take in round 4, 5, and 6. But that's our main goal here. And again, Grantham, Corson, those are our top 2, man. I hope somehow Grantham drops because that's a superstar in the making. Even though we need outfield, that's a superstar in the making. So let's go here. We have pick number 17. I think we might watch all 17 picks just to add to the anxiety of Rory Grantham. Damian Betts, okay, that's fine. We did scout him, but involuntary because I think he's international. I knew it was too good to be true. Truthfully, I knew it was too good to be true. Draft rank 2, he was discovered that other teams not having him. There was no chance he drops that far. I'm going to take... There's no way that a center fielder drops to 17 either. So Isaiah Corson, considering he started out as 13, there's no way that a position player drops to 17 as well. So I think we're going to be in trouble here, and we might have to go pitching because I'm not taking Frank Wade with our number 17 pick. He isn't worth it. And I think we might have to go pitching here, which is super unfortunate. That's not what we were looking for. But Grantham being scouted and going, that kind of ruins everything. So we'll see. We'll see what pick Corson goes. I am 99% positive Corson will not be there at 17. If he is, we're the luckiest people in the world that a top 13 position player hangs around until 17. But I highly, highly doubt it. Castilla, the left fielder. And I guess that we can take a peek at these. Steele was the number one catcher. Raymond Kind, a top pitcher, went. Castilla, that's fine. Back-to-back Castillas went. Vic Diggs, okay. William Tillman. See, we're getting closer, but they're just going to break our hearts. They're going to break our hearts, and Corson's going to go right before us. I feel it coming. It happens all the time. James Tan, wow. Detroit picks the wrong guy. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I think he goes 14. Charles Hernandez, we didn't scout him at all, so that's fine. I think Corson goes 14. That's what I think here. Dwayne McCarthy, another pitcher. Here's the D-backs about to break my heart. I'm feeling it. I feel like I know this is going to happen. Corson going 14 to the D-backs. Okay, I'm wrong. Okay. There's still 2 picks, though. Now the anxiety builds, and the heartbreak gets bigger if he goes. Oh, my gosh, we're 1 pick away. Boston, you are the worst team in all of baseball if you do this to me. Boston, wow. A top player, position player, actually falls to us. I've done a lot of drafts, as I'm sure you have. Very rarely, at least in mine, does position players drop below not only their major league draft rank, but the team's draft rank. This is huge. He's a lefty. Let's hope that we don't get screwed with him and he's like an 82. But in any case, he's a great fielder. He's fast as all hell, and he can hit enough to where he is above average, potentially, hopefully. And that's what we need. We needed a spot filled. We needed an outfielder. I don't care that he's center field. He can play left and right. Isaiah Corson falls to us at 17. You are a Seattle Mariner. That's huge. That's huge. That's very, very big. Now we don't pick until 55, though. We'll see who's left. Talbot is very, very nice if he's there. We're going to skip to my pick, so don't worry about that. I just want to get a couple more guys on the list here. Did I add any of the closers? I didn't. I want to go do that real quick. Closer, or, wait, what the hell? Oh, there's Alexi. Okay. Paul Smith is still there, too. He's not going to be at 55, but he is still there. Okay. So we'll do this. Pedro Ortiz. Can I not move up? It says square. Oh. I'm an idiot. Don't mind me, guys. Don't mind me. Just being an idiot over here. Just watch and make fun of me. It's fine. It's fine. Well, going too fast. Alexi. I mean, again, I don't think any of these guys are going to be here. But I just want them towards the top so I can get an easier look on when they do go. Okay. So there's our top 5 here that are probably not going to be there. So let's skip to our pick now. Talbot, Ortiz, Ramirez, Smith, and Bond. Talbot, Ramirez are still there. Okay. Bond just went. All right, so let's go take a peek here. We do have Talbot, though. Oh, man, his per 9 are absolute garbage. I don't like that, but this might be the opposite of those fog of war things. His hits per 9 and strikeouts per 9 could be better than that. He jumped all the way to 9, which is great. Both closers went because why wouldn't they? Team rank, all Talbot, Cock, Ward, Magana, and his sweet stash. That sweet, sweet stash. Biggs could be a decent later round. Just trying to see who we have. I really think Ramirez will go later. So here's the decision that we have. Do we go bullpen at 55? Which, yes, he's only going to be in the 60s, but his potential is 90. If he's not an 89, he's an A potential, which is crazy. I don't care that he's 22. Or do we go Talbot, who's a starting pitcher that we don't necessarily need? Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to take a risk here. We could go Cabrera too, but we just got an outfielder. Potentially could get two, but I'm a little scared off by Cabrera, so I don't really think I'm going to go after him. I'd rather take a chance on someone later for another guy. I think we're taking a chance here. I think that I'm going to take a chance and hope that Howard Talbot is still here later on. Sometimes you get screwed. Sometimes he lasts all the way to the 5th round. So I'm going to take a chance and hope that Talbot is still around. We have our pitching is pretty set. It's not an immediate need for us. I think I'm going to go Alexi Ramirez here. I think his numbers are electric. I don't care that he's a crappy fielder. Who cares? This could be a high-end bullpen guy for years and years, and hope that he's a late bloomer. We're going to go bullpen to help out our bullpen here. We're going to go Alexi Ramirez, and we're going to hope that Howard Talbot is there later on. An 89, and if not, a guaranteed A potential, which is huge. Howard Talbot, are you still here? He is. Pick number 92, I think, is a really good spot to get some value here. And by value, I mean incredible freaking value. With Jared Rowan might be an interesting one too, because he was getting better. So that might be a decent late rounder to look at. Yeah, I mean, I think Talbot's the pick here. We run out of time. They only gave us a minute here. So this is huge. Howard Talbot in the 3rd round. Hopefully, he did opt out, so let's hope we don't get screwed there. But not ranked to 9. I will take that all day long. Hubert Webb is someone that I could potentially take a chance on. I'm purposely letting people draft because I want to kind of reload up some guys that I might potentially want to take a look at. Not any infield. I don't need it. Left field, and I think I already have some of these up. Sammy Tahara is a potential guess. We already have Bucky Belliard. Nicholas Liss is another guy that I will take a peek at potentially. What about bullpen here? Donnie Walton. Again, I always try to look at the 99s first for guessing, if I have to guess. But remember, we still have a couple outfielders to look at. So we have some potentials here. We have 7 people. We go and when? 122. So we have a little bit here. We only have a minute, though. So I'm kind of making sure that my head's right before I skip ahead here. One person wins, so we have a kind of our pick here. Oh, man, this is going to make this tough. Guess. Webb, this would be another absolute potential guess because I think the rest of these will be around. So we might go first base here. We might go first base with Hubert Webb and just take a chance, take a shot. Because at 152, I think we're going to have some of these other people left. So we're going to do this. We're going to take an absolute shot here on Hubert Webb. Because we did discover him, so maybe we get super lucky. Maybe we get lucky here. Maybe. Now we have 5 left. 3 left, and one of them is still an outfielder that I would love to take a chance on. Richard Chen wouldn't be a terrible back-end guy. Erwin Shea, he did go 119, so I think that he's going to be worse. Mario Mota here. Oh, you know what? I'm not a huge fan of grabbing these. Like, Mario Mota is a guy that I should pick here because he's going to be a high B potential no matter what. He just is. Those per nines are not correct. That's not good. But he's 22. He's a long term project, and I don't need pitching. I don't need pitching. Sammy Valentine probably won't be around next pick at 182. But I don't need him. But I think that we just have to this late. Outside of guessing, we know what this is. We can guarantee what this is. We don't necessarily need him. He's a long term project. He's already 22. Hopefully, he's a late bloomer as well, and he can go into 36, 37 years old. But we have to try. And we just do. All of those guys are gone, which I assumed. Edward Clark. For our last guy here, even though we don't need it, catcher. This guy would be fun to. We don't have another catcher developing, and we just don't need the infield. There's nothing left here. There's only starting pitching. Irwin again. We just don't need more pitching. I'd rather guess. All right, I think we're gonna go the catcher here, Armando Herrera. Hope we get a little lucky and hope we can have someone develop since Harry Ford is already up. Armando Herrera, we're gonna take a chance. I hope I didn't make any mistakes not picking those outfielders and grabbing that pitcher instead that I don't necessarily need. But I just rather than guess, I'd rather take a sure thing, I'd rather take a sure thing because for next year, maybe I package one person plus one of those pitchers. That's a high potential and 23 years old and grab someone that I really need. That can be my one trade. So it's definitely possible. I'm fairly happy with that draft. To be honest, we'll see what on the higher end we get and who we've missed out on. But let's go check out the home run derby and see who's in it. Judge, Seager, Nolan Gorman, Devers, Tucker, Alonso, Acuna, and Nolan Arenado. The all-star game here. Again, all games on this date will be simulated. That's fine. I just want to see rosters here. The AL, Pablo Lopez, Joe Ryan. Really, I'm just looking for any creative players. Again, we can look at it during the award screen, but I just want to see Mitch Garver made it, so that's great. And Julio, let's go. But everyone that is normal. Then we'll go to the National League side here. That Gallen, Lodolo, Acuna, Olsen. Oh, good Lord. Michael Harris, Ronald Acuna, Matt Olson, Austin Riley, Ozzy Albies. I mean, is this just the NL All-Stars Braves edition? Holy Lord. Tani. All right, so no creative players, which is to be expected. They haven't improved that much yet. But no creative players are All-Stars. Now we wait to see draft picks, and here we go. So here's our draft picks. We have 8 mil. Oh, Corson needs to get some interest. Okay. So Corson's going to have to be by himself here for a little bit. 368. He wants, draft slot. Okay. I kind of assumed. 1.8 mil draft position. Okay. Hubert Webb, 406. Slot value was 541. Mota. Okay, so we're going to have to get some guys here. Mota, 303 draft position. Slot was 4. Let's just give him 4. So Talbot we're going to remove, and then we're going to add Corson in the one spot. I could just keep Corson by himself, but it's only a 1% difference from 5 to 6. I'd rather start getting Herrera a little bit too. And we've already signed 3 of our guys, so I'm not incredibly worried about running out of time. I have 5.4 million to. So let's just give him whatever. If he wants to keep declining it, he'll eventually sign. I'm not super worried about it. I can also scout Herrera too, for as long as it takes to get him up here. So it's going to take 2 weeks for Corson, or 4 days, 2 cycles for Corson to be ready. Herrera stays max 97. Okay. Hope we get lucky here. Let's just give you one more slot higher. Okay. So this is where we're at now. One more week. Corson will be ready. Oh, whoopsies. Corson will be ready. We've lost 4 straight. We're not playing well. This is unfortunate. Corson. Let's pretty much give him whatever the hell he wants. Oh my, get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Let's remove him because I want Herrera to get the 6%. This guy, I maxed him out and he said, nah. Nah, I don't really want to be there. Bro, get out of here. What are you doing? Oh my gosh. One more. Hey, we won a game. Wow, we have fallen off the face of the earth. Our offense is brutal. It's like the real Mariners offense. Contract, slot value, just give him what he wants. All right, we're down to you, Corson. That means I'll pretty much I just max you out until you sign, and there we go. So we are done here. The trade deadline is here. So let's go see if we want to make a trade here. Before we head off, that we have no chance at the division. The Rangers are far and away, but we are still in the wild card race. So I don't think that we can dump yet. However, Haniger's not even playing, and he's fallen. So I would rather get something for him, albeit I know it's not going to be anything solid. But if we can get rid of Haniger now, Garver, gosh, man, I hate that we have to keep Garver. 290, 20 home runs, 52 RBI. The smart thing to do would get rid of him. Would be to get rid of him, but we're trying to make the playoffs. Again, trying to be as realistic as possible. If you're in a playoff race, any normal team does not trade Garver. Haniger's on the bench, so I'm not worried about him. Who's the other guy? Polanco, who's also killing it, and he's getting better. So we might have to ride Polanco here too. If we trade Haniger, though, I don't know who else we trade with him to get anything at all. God, we have come best. DH. Anybody can hit there too. That's the thing. It won't be good as Polanco, though. That is the problem. We have no one in AAA that's waiting to get promoted either that I would kind of trust. This is tough, man. We might just have to lose these 2 players and not get anything for them. Mitch Haniger we can definitely get rid of, but who in the hell can we trade with Mitch Haniger to try to get something? Who's Cole Young is ready to go next year? Just another middle infielder, man. He's probably ready to go next year. Hancock, 25. Man, Hancock is probably the only guy that we have with some trade value. You know, we look at our pitching here. Castillo's 32. All of these guys have 5 years left, but I don't think we have enough behind them to be sustainable. We will. Lynn and Reyes, but these guys have to get better. So Hancock, I think, is the only one that has any semblance of value, which is, he's not pitching well in AAA. Oh man, we might have to just get rid of Hancock with Haniger to do something. A bullpen, we have absolutely nothing. Catchers, we have nothing of value. Clemente, we're not going to trade away our first baseman. We just am not going to do it. Colts, Emerson. We have Cole Young. Maybe we might have to get rid of one of our prospects here. We have a plethora of them. We have Furbush, Cumbest, Young, and hell, we even have Ryan Bliss, who's not that great offensively. And we're about to add. We might be able to re-sign Garver. I'm trying to think for next year here. Colt can only play the middle in field. Furbish can play anywhere. Cumbest can play anywhere. Up the middle. We just don't. Maybe we actually do Ryan Bliss instead. Maybe we get rid of Ryan Bliss and Mitch Haniger for something. This plethora of middle infield. I mean, we have JP Crawford too. And JP would be another one, but JP I think is going to be a next year trade at the deadline. Okay, I think we're gonna do this. I think we're gonna go Mitch Haniger and Ryan Bliss and see what we can get. I don't like looking for trades myself. I think it takes way too long. So we're gonna do this now. Before I even search for players, let me kind of give you the lowdown on what I do here. One, I cannot trade for a cap. So if there's a creative player and they offered up for a trade, I cannot take that trade. Period. I have to skip it. Secondly, I try to make it as realistic as possible. So an aging Mitch Haniger, plus a 25-year-old guy who's not a superstar, but could potentially be up in the Bs and be an average hitter. What could I potentially get for that? That's what I'm looking for. If for some reason I get a suggested trade with 2 A potentials, that's not realistic. I won't take that. So I'm trying to be as realistic as I can. I do want prospects, though, not major league ready. So we'll see. I'm not expecting to get anything super crazy, but I do want something that's probably a decent thing to look through. I probably won't take a bunch of time looking through them. So if I'm skipping ahead too quick, I apologize, but each team is probably going to have three offers, which is a lot to look through. I mean, that's not bad, but what a team would realistically trade that? I don't know. But C's, I'm definitely not looking at C potentials. I know I'm not going to get any A's. I mean, if I do, I'd be shocked. But just C's, the Angels, 3 B's. Come on, man. A closer, a reliever. Now, granted, they're all super young overall. So in theory, this is a pretty good trade, right? Bullpen help, another outfielder. But would a team really trade that? I don't know. And because of Haniger, I'm dumping a bunch of salary for a rental. There's absolutely no way in hell that any team would trade Wyatt Langford for these 2 guys. This is what I'm talking about. This is the trade that I would absolutely take if I wasn't trying to be realistic. What a ridiculous trade offer from the Rangers side. You're probably your best prospect? No. Again, if I was just messing around on stream or whatever, that's probably someone that I would take. Brett Beatty, same thing. Come on, man. I try to be realistic. I'm not taking Wyatt Langford. That kind of seems like cheating because of how bad the trade AI is. Catcher, we got one. Don't need another one. We drafted one. We hope he's decent. We'll find out in a couple of days. Tommy Troy, same thing. Why would they trade him? Adela Santos, same thing. Why would you trade that? I mean, to be fair, it's kind of the same as Ryan Bliss. So I guess these 2 are not terrible. They're kind of trading across the board. They're just eating all the salary, which I don't really see why. But again, I don't need it. I don't need infield. I'm getting rid of infield. So why in the hell would I get infield, right? Some outfield depth would be nice and some bullpen help. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And we're done here. So we don't have a lot to choose from. Outfield. and possibly bullpen. Normally, what I do is I go through and I keep a running tally in my head on who has the best offer. I didn't do that this time because I guess I didn't see any decent offers that I would be willing to take fairly. Again, this is the best trade. Maybe they have a plethora here. And we get some bullpen help. We get an outfielder. I kind of feel like I should add something else into this because I feel like this is kind of a fleece and I don't like this. Like that the two bullpen Bs alone are probably worth bliss. And then we're getting an outfielder for Mitch Haniger. Now, granted, he's 57 overall. He could be an 80, which is not going to be great. But I feel like I should offer something else. The Angels, I think, are the best offer. Get out of here with Langford. That cracks me up. Yeah, I think I'm going to go back there. And I think I'm going to take that Angels offer, but I'm going to add something else in to make it a little bit more realistic or at least better. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that's decent here. Okay. Let's go back to the Angels. Go away so I can see. Thank you. Unless I missed something, which I don't think I did. I mean, again, this is a decent one too, but that's no positions I need going forward. My bullpen's a disaster. And that's what I need. Okay. So we're going to do this. Joyce, Segura, and Reed. Whoops. Let's go over here. Let's go to the Angels. Hopefully I remembered all of that. There is Joyce, Reed, and Segura. Now, what else can I throw in here to make this a little bit better and a little more fair? Let's go back to all. Overall, Spanos, that first baseman, Valencia. I mean, I'm not going to be able to make this incredibly even. Again, I could give him another short. Like I could give him a felony here too, because I have a plethora of infielders for a while. Like I'm set. Pitching, no. Out your mind. Yeah, out your mind. Colt Emerson, Lazaro Montez, an outfielder, so we're keeping him. There's no chance in hell we're adding him. Walter Ford, see potential. Locklear's an interesting one that I might be able to give up, but I don't know if I really need to. Ty Pete. I could give him Ty Pete. It's only a C potential, but a bullpen isn't super highly regarded. I might be able to give him Ty Pete here. Okay. So it's either Ty Pete, who's a C potential, which is what I'll probably do. Felnine's 19, so he has more value because he's so young. What's Ty Pete, 20? Oh, he's 19 as well, but he's only C. So this guy could be a 78, 79. So I think we're going to add Ty Pete in here. Again, they're eating salary. I want this to be I still think I'm getting the better end of this deal, but I feel better about it that I added in another player, albeit not a superstar, but I added in another player to make this a little bit more realistic. It makes me feel a little bit better about it. So we're going to do this. So we're going to take two bullpen guys to help our bullpen depth, and we'll take Segura, another outfielder who is going to take a minute to be ready. So we are going to do this. Offer this trade. Boom. Okay. So that's our one trade of the year. We can't make a trade now until the next. The offseason does count, by the way, once the season ends. It runs from the offseason to the end, or to the trade deadline is what's considered a trading year for me. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to go look and make sure no one else got traded. We're specifically looking for caps, transactions. I screwed this up. trades. Zach Veen, Mason Montgomery, Scott Barlow, Tyler Soderstrom, Victor Robles. Oh, there's our first cap. He is traded. Tony Cummins has been traded from the Boston Red Sox, a 96 overall potential. And he has gone to the Chicago Cubs. And now the Cubs have 3 creative players. I don't know who Cade Horton is, and we're going to go look, but he better be something. Jordan Westberg, and we saw Jake Berger. So that's it. That's the only cap that's got traded so far. Tony Cummins. So let's go look at the Boston roster because I want to see who he got traded for straight up across the board. Kate. Okay, hey, this is actually fair. I don't know what Cade Horton's actual overall or potential is, but you traded an A prospect for an A prospect. Tony Cummins is a first baseman, so you swapped top prospects, pitcher for position player. I'm happy with that. That's cool. I'm okay with that. I think that's fair. They actually did it correctly. So, Tony Cummins, the first cap that gets traded, he goes from Boston to the north side, to the Cubs. And now the Cubs have 3, and Boston has 0 creative players. None. So let's go look here. Fix all of our lineups for us. I don't care. I'm going to review the offer, but I can't. Oh, they want to give us Antion Roussel. They want to give us a cap. One, we can't do it for 2 reasons. He's a cap, and we've already made our trade. But that's pretty funny that they want to give us a creative player. Today's a trade deadline. We already know. I got to go one more day. Sorry. One more day here. All right, let's go take a peek on how we did. We know we drafted a couple 21, 22-year-olds who have high potential, so we know we're going to do good there. But Colson is the guy that we hope we get in the 90s. Please don't give us some 84, 85. Still a good player, but I want this dude to be a banger. Let's see how we did in year number 2. Hey, I will take it. 93 for Corson. His vision's low. He's not the best fielder, and he's already a 71 overall. Hey, I'm good with it. Power, he's quick. He's not the best fielder, so we'll have to deal with that. But a 93 potential all day long. Ramirez, we knew, unfortunately, he got the bottom end of his potential, but still an 89, still great. Talbot, towards the top. I like that. A 94. His per nines has to drastically improve. Hits per 9 and K per 9, which is what I was concerned about. I was hoping the attributes were a little wrong. So that's going to be a problem. We'll see where he ends up, but he does have 36 overall points to improve, so we can see. Hubert Webb, we guessed on this guy, and he's not bad. This guy can platoon against lefties. Decent vision, probably does DH, though. So that's not bad. Mota, same thing. We knew he was going to be decent. I'll take an 89 pitcher. So a 94 and an 89 pitcher, I will take it. And Armando Herrera, the catcher that we guessed on, 84. He's 18. So he's going to take some time, but he is going to double his overall. He's 42. He is going to double his overall. Probably will take him 6 years or so. So that's not bad. That's not a bad draft. We didn't get anybody high end. That's not a pitcher. I love that we got an outfielder that's not just speed. Obviously, we won't put him in center field. He does play the corner outfield positions as well. So that's where Corson will go. But that's pretty solid. I like that. Now we look around and see who we missed on. Those outfielders that we were going to look at, that's who I really want to take a look at. I might not remember them. So I'm hoping that as we go through, oh my God, the Marlins signed nobody. I'm hoping that when we go through, Brad Bond is a closer that we were looking at in 84. Calderon, I don't think was one of them, but that's pretty solid for an 89. The Phillies, Valentine was one. An 84 is not bad, but he's strictly speed right now, so he could work in a little bit. Damian Betts, George Murphy, Will Steele, generational player, 18 years old. I think he was number one. He didn't go number one. What is with the Cubs? Oh my God. They have 3 creative players, all A potential, and now they have a generational talent in the catcher position in Will Steele. The Cubs are going to win a World Series. They just are. They have too many A players. What a hit for the Cubs in Will Steele, our first generational talent that we've seen in this short-lived franchise. But the Cubs have 4 A prospects now, simply in the last 2 years. Good Lord. Edward Clark, that was a 99 that I passed up because he's an infielder. That would have been nice. Brewers didn't do much. The Pirates didn't do much. Cardinals, yuck. D-backs did get Martin Cruz, Tino Cairo. Rockies did absolutely nothing. Dodgers really nothing. Padres got Dwayne McCarthy at least, but outside of that, nothing. The Giants with a big draft. There's Rory Grantham. Look at his offense. Oh my God. 92 potential. Look at that offense. He's absolutely a DH type. You can throw him in first base eventually once he gets serviceable in there, probably in the 60s. But oh my God, that offense. He went 2. He should have went 2. And what a draft from the Giants. Rigdon, Tejera, which is another guy that we were kind of looking at. John Venner. Wow. Grantham. Oof. Guy's nasty. Baltimore did nothing. Boston hit on a couple lates with Parks and Bulger. Yeah, there's Fortenberry. That's the guy that I was kind of looking at. Looks to be just speedish in defense, but it'll probably be serviceable offensively. Joey Bloom. Gene Olson. A late catcher, 99, unscouted. And he hit 94. Catchers are really easy to hit. Those 4th, 5th, 6th round picks. If they have high potential unscouted, there's a good chance you hit on them. Good chance. White Sox hit 2 good bangers here. Michael Jones, Del Callahan. Back-to-back 95s. They need it. So that's good for the White Sox. The Guardians don't even sign 3 of their prospects, so that's unfortunate. Bucky Belliard, no! Ugh. That's one of the guys that I was kind of waiting would fall and drop. Not that good defensively, but 98 potential. He was 99 scouted, so I figured he had a good chance of being decent. He's 21 and he's already 60 overall, so he doesn't fall too low on the overall scale. Good hit from the Tigers. Royals didn't really do much. Twins hit Nicholas Liss late, but outside of that, didn't do much. Look at these guys that are unsigned. It's crazy. The Astros didn't really do much. Angels, Raymond Kind to the A's, and we're back to us. So that's not bad. I am happy with this draft. It could have been better, but it could have been much, much, much worse. We get a bullpen. We get an outfielder we desperately needed. We get somewhat of a catcher prospect to start developing, and we add 2 more pitchers that we didn't hypothetically need, but eventually we're going to need it. So I am very, very happy to have them. Again, I think the big story is the Cubs. The Cubs get the generational talent in Will Steele, and they trade for Tony Cummins. I mean, if we want to go take a peek just real quick before we head off here at the top prospects, Robert Jones is still in single A because apparently the Brewers just hate his guts. He's up to a 77, and they hate his guts. But let's look at, so we can find Cubs. Come on now. Really? Oh, because they're already up. They're already up. I guarantee all of these prospects are already up, and that's why they're not on the list. I'm a dum-dum. So outside of that, they have Triantos, Matt Shaw, who's another A potential prospect. Jeez. Tommy Kang's a B. And they just drafted a generational talent. The Cubs are rolling, man. I don't really know what to tell you. We look at the NL Central. Cubs are 50-61, but I can promise you it won't be for long. It will not be for long. We're 15 and a half out. We're only a half game out of the wild card, so we have something to play for in the second half of the season. But if you look at the Cubs here, which I'm very interested in doing, Swanson, Suzuki, Bellinger, Imanaga, Morel. There's Tony Cummins. He's up to a 98. Good Lord. There's Brian Simmons. He's a 77. And they have a closer, Slobberknocker, 73. So the Cubs are going to be someone not to fuck with here pretty soon. Guys, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Again, if you want to get your creative player into this franchise, there's a Google form in the description. Complete the Google form. It's very, very simple, very, very fast, and you never have to do anything again except for watch the episodes and watch your player and see how they develop. We do designate one episode per game season simply to the Caps just to look them over, see their improvements, their stats, check trades for the first half, which we did. So we do designate one episode per season just to the creative players. I appreciate you guys. Hit that like, toss me a comment, tell me what you think about the series, and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you do not miss out on any of the franchise videos. I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and go Mariners, baby.